Spring is here and we have partnered up with Manscaped again to offer you 20% off plus free global shipping if you use discount code OfficeBlokes at the checkout. That is 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
Big saving. Wow.
Great deal. Crazy, isn't it? So,
superb.
So what do you think of Manscaped, you two?
I love it. Use it all the time.
Yeah, superb products.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, the Lawnmower 4.0 package comes with loads of extra bits, doesn't it, as well?
Turns out I'm a member.
You remember?
I keep getting stuff in the mail.
Right.
Like different, the new blade and ball treatment and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it just keeps turning up.
Well, you signed up to Manscaped before we were sponsored by them, didn't you? So that is a testament to them right there.
And I bought them as Christmas gifts prior to us signing up.
Yeah. But if you want to sign up to Manscaped, remember discount code OfficeBlokes at the till. It'll get you 20% off plus free worldwide shipping. And it's also worth saying Manscaped have partnered up with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness for testicular cancer. So I guess when you're down there having your little trim, you can have a little play with the eggs as well and see if there's any.
Make sure everything's ship-shape and as it should be.
Yeah.
I get mine done when I go to the barbers.
Nice.
Checked, I mean.
Yeah.
Not trimmed, just checked.
I was going to say, as long as he's using the Lawnmower 4.0 or she. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so that is discount code OfficeBlokes at the checkout for 20% off plus free worldwide shipping. Mm-hmm. We appreciate the support, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I am Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we're the Office Blokes, aren't we?
Yep.
It is true, or the Office Blokes, as some people say.
Yeah,
or
right. Live and direct from the Office Blokes Arena.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah.
Or the Office Blokes. There's many ways you can pronounce the Office Blokes, depending on your persuasion.
Yeah. I suppose there is, really.
Is there?
You look at it like that.
Office Blokes.
Who pronounces it like that?
Some guy.
Office Blockers.
A nationally ambiguous person who belongs to no country that I'm not going to dig myself a hole by saying anything.
Leave it there, Dave.
Yeah, I could have just said Spanish. You can't offend Spanish people, really, can you?
Yeah. Can you?
I don't know.
I think
listen to this.
Yep.
Move on.
Yeah. Anyway, our gaming channel is that close to being launched, so just check out Office Blokes Game and go for it. Yep. There you go. Simple as. 50 British versus American word pronunciations. Part 1.
Ooh, be interesting this because it's I use a lot of words that people go when I say it, they look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Like, what's that? See, how would you pronounce that word there?
Pronunciation. Dynasty.
See, I'd say dynasty.
Which I know that's how they pronounce it after the programme. I know that
dynasty.
they called it dynasty, didn't they? But yeah.
I noticed more when I first met you when you moved over here that there was a lot more Americanisms in your speech, and even accent-wise, there was certain words that were definitely you had a tinge of American. But you've been there for years, haven't you?
Yeah, 12 years I spent there.
You're going to pick up words, aren't you? The way they say it.
Yeah,
you just would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into it. 50 British and American word pronunciations, part 1. What I want to know is there going to be 50 in this part, or is this part 1 of 50?
I'm thinking this is part 1 of 50.
Is part 2 going to be another 50?
No, it'll be 25 in this one, 25 in the other.
Just being awkward now.
When I was a kid, we watched a lot of American television, and one of those shows was Dynasty.
Dynasty.
What? Dynasty. Hello, I'm Lawrence.
I'm Tara.
And we are on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And one of those memos pertains to words and how we pronounce them.
Maybe the most important memo pertains to words.
Well, absolutely. Well, it's the one I discuss most, isn't it? And, living with somebody who is American, and especially being in quarantine with her, I get to hear a lot of her mispronunciations, different pronunciations all the time, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about mispronunciations, I think Lawrence is going to go first.
Oh, am I? That's pressure.
And then I'm going to go next with the correct pronunciation.
Come on. There is no correct pronunciation.
No.
Language is fluid and we understand that. Something else to point out before we get underway, while we are representatives of our respective countries here today, there will be a few of you watching this thinking, I don't pronounce it that way and I'm American or I'm British. We understand that. There are regional differences. This is just how we do it.
Without further ado, we're going to get started, and we're going to say each of the 50 words with each variation on our own pronunciations.
And because we didn't want to discriminate against certain words, we alphabetize this list.
And since one of you in the comments below, I'm sure, is going to categorize each of these words, then you can find them very easily since they're
Aluminum.
alphabetized.
It's going to be in
Just
there.
so
It's gotta be.
considerate of us,
Absolutely,
wasn't it?
definitely.
It really is.
Let's get underway.
All right, let's go.
Oh, you always bring me up on this. This is Adidas.
Adidas.
I always used to say Adidas.
So did I.
Always.
Do you know why it's Adidas?
That's probably just the way it's supposed to be.
No, I'm going to tell you why. The guy who owned the company, you know, who invented the company,
Yeah.
is Adidasler.
Oh, really?
That's his name.
Right.
So why
never
would it
knew
be
that.
Adidas when his name's Adidasler? So it's Adidas. It's a combo of his two names.
Wow.
Mm.
Is it UK brand?
German.
That's German, isn't it?
German.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Adidasler. Where's he from? Norwich.
Could have been from Cheetham Hill.
But yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Adidas.
Yeah. Advertisement.
Advertisement.
This is not an advertisement for Lost in the Pond or for Adidas. We should point that out. Not a sponsored ad.
Not at all.
Oh, this one is controversial. So I actually do pronounce this H, right? But I think when I was younger, it was H. A lot of British people do pronounce it that way.
Not even younger. You've pronounced it H since I met you.
So they mean the letter,
The
not
letter,
the rapper.
that's
Yeah, not the rapper, no.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought I was a bit confused by that one.
I say both of them the same. I say H.
H.
I think we
for
say
the
more
left.
H because of where we're from as well.
Yeah, I think
Manchester,
it's
just
regionalised,
drop
yeah.
the harsh sound of it, don't you?
Drop
Yeah.
the H out of H for H.
Yeah.
Well, I was younger then.
A lot younger, I guess.
Come on.
H.
Now, here's the thing. I pronounce this aluminum because it's spelled aluminum. But if it was spelled the British way, aluminium, I would pronounce it thus.
Aluminum. There really is only one.
Banana.
Banana.
Not much different, really. Another food item and
Basil.
a
Basil.
person's name.
I say basil.
I call this basil, like Basil Fawlty.
Basil.
For sure, brochure. Doesn't rhyme.
For sure.
But it does when I say it. Brochure.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's not... Yeah, maybe I'll adopt your pronunciation of that.
For sure.
I like rhymes. Aha. Yes, this one caught me off guard because I'm a practicing Buddhist. I'm not, but still. Whenever it's spoken about, I would say Buddha.
I say Buddha. I'm not sure why. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have the two O's.
Language doesn't make sense, does it, Tara?
Not at all.
A lot of people, like growing up being a bit of a stoner, people would call weed Buddha, but then the god or the deity or whatever would be called Buddha.
Mm.
All right.
So there was two pronunciations of the same thing, just meaning slightly different things.
Yeah.
Even over
I
here.
never knew that.
No, I say Buddha.
Butter. Yeah,
Butter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And you put it on your bread. Butter.
Butter. Bread and butter.
You on this? Jimmy Buffett.
No, the word,
It's
not the name.
Buffet.
Buffet.
That's what I say.
Is it? But you don't put like a weird emphasis on it or anything like that?
Buffet.
Buffet, but I say buffet.
Oh.
Yes, here's an example of a British homophone. We pronounce this
Buoy.
just as you would pronounce the word boy, as in boy and girl.
Buoy.
Buoy.
That's the way that I've always said it. Life Boy soap is Life Boy soap. But I don't think it's B-O-Y. I think it's B-U-O-Y.
Again, not a sponsored ad for soap. Yes, this was one of the big ones when I moved to the US because there's a place in Indiana
Carmel.
called Carmel. We'll get onto that in just a second. My pronunciation of this word is caramel.
As is mine.
What?
But the place is Carmel.
Yeah, but I've heard you say caramel or something
I
like
say
that.
caramel.
Do you really? But some Americans don't, do they?
No, some of them say caramel.
Yeah, this one's got quite a regional difference.
Caramel and caramel are spelt differently too.
I know that. I've just heard people pronounce the two the same way. Yes, this was Tara's former profession to me. She was my chauffeur.
I was never a paid chauffeur for him.
How did you pronounce it?
Chauffeur.
See, you're getting the sort of the French down there, I think, right? Usually we're bad at Spanish and you're bad at French. And speaking of Spanish, I used to pronounce this chili. And I think most people in Britain do, but I've since evolved my pronunciation
Chile.
because of this one.
Well, it's Chile because it's the place, Chile. But if you were to eat chili, that would be chili.
Chile. It's chilly up north. That's another definition of the word.
But we
different
would still
spelling.
say chili.
Absolutely. Oh, this is a good one. So when I was a kid, I used to colour in inside the lines, I must make that clear, with a crayon.
He didn't, because I've seen his artwork from when he was younger. But I say crayon as well.
I was Artist of the Year in Year 7.
However, there are lots of Americans who say crayon.
One vowel. Ah, yes, another.
I was going to say how else could you say it, but crane
Crayon.
would be maybe in the south, Louisiana, is that kind of Creole-y.
A bit of a different twang to it.
But when I was
How do you pronounce that word?
croissant.
Croissant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a W, wouldn't you?
Yeah, anyone who
croissant.
says croissant needs a little bit of culture in their life. Needs to go to France. Ooh.
Example of the French going weird in America. I pronounce this croissant, which that's super French, even for England, isn't it?
I mean, we say croissant if we're saying it American, but I say croissant as well.
Yeah, well, because you're pretentious like me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Bond actor, still haven't seen any of those films, shame on me, but I pronounce his name Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
What revelation? That is a genuine revelation to me.
Yeah, I'd say Craig if it was like a first name, but I think that Daniel Craig has been in the news enough that even in America we would say his name Daniel Craig.
I suppose the fact that he's British as well, you hear that pronunciation quite often.
Right.
But if it was the first name Craig,
It'd be Craig.
wow, Craigslist, right?
Yeah, Craigslist.
In fact, perfect. When Daniel Craig made his first appearance as Bond, he made his debut.
His debut.
Well, this is similar, isn't it? Where we park the buses, all of the buses in England is called the depot.
And we say depot.
Here it is again. We spoke about this just the other day, how it's used in different ways in both countries, but it's also pronounced differently.
Meanwhile, in Derby.
Nice.
Oh, man,
That is UK Gogglebox for anyone who doesn't know. Craig Cash.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's class.
It's not a bad impression either.
It's good, that.
Cheers.
I've always said Derby,
I love this one. It's one of my favorite ones, but it's Derby.
and it doesn't matter what we're referring to, the town, the hat, or the type of race.
If you're from Derby, then let me know in the comments. Should I pronounce it Derby, or should I pronounce it Dobby, or should I pronounce it Derby?
There are, of
Derby.
course, 13 states with a Derby as well. How do you pronounce it, Americans? When I was a kid, we watched a lot of American television, and one of those shows was Dynasty.
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 What?
Dynasty. Here's another French-inspired one. They're all French or Spanish, aren't they? Foyer.
We would probably say foyer, but I think I've learned over the years to say foyer as well.
I've influenced her.
This one just reminds me of Elton John.
Why? When does he say this word?
Because he says in the garage by the motorway.
By the motorway. Like,
Motorway.
unbelievable. Which is weird because he often sings with an American accent, doesn't he? The funny thing is, even in Britain, people can't agree on the pronunciation of this word. I happen to say garage, but some people would say garage.
Oh, well, mine's
I've
pretty
heard
similar
both
to
over
that.
here.
I'll
It's
probably say garage, mainly,
Oh,
I think.
I hope there are some people called Graham watching because it's most decidedly in my pronunciation Graham, not Graham, Graham.
Graham.
All one vowel
Yeah.
when you do it, isn't it?
When I went to school, there was a kid named Graham, and I couldn't figure out why his name was spelt the way it is and pronounced the way it is at the same time.
Was he friends with somebody called Craig? For some reason, this one gets people in a tizzy. I say herb.
I say herb.
Although people in the West Country might also say herb. Herbs and
Oh, yeah.
spices.
Herbs and spices.
Absolutely.
Isn't it funny
point
that
out.
we don't pronounce the H in H and we say H,
Herb, yeah.
but then herb, we
But
do it
doing
the other
herb.
way round and they swap.
Yeah.
That's
It
bizarre.
is
one,
weird,
that.
isn't it?
There's no sort of rhyme or reason, is there? I guess like a local dialect would have just made its way to a certain bit of America when it's being colonised.
Certain
Do you
accent.
say
And it's just
do you say home address or home address?
home address.
Home address.
Home
In
address.
fact, it's not something I ever actually say. I say it like Homer Simpson wears a dress. Home address. Dreadful.
Easy one, this. Home address.
Home address.
I've had a lot of this in recent times being here in quarantine. Leisure.
Leisure.
Leisure. There you go. Sounds like legion.
I don't feel like you've had any leisure.
I've had plenty of leisure, just especially now that I'm full-time on YouTube. Here's the thing. I don't remember ever pronouncing this the British way of lieutenant. I've always said, I think, probably not, lieutenant.
I
You
say
know who says
lieutenant.
lieutenant?
Lieutenant.
Who?
Poldark.
Does he?
Yes. But of course I say lieutenant, so...
Ah,
I actually thought lieutenant and lieutenant were two different things.
So did I.
No,
Yeah.
that's how you spell it.
I've always said lieutenant, always.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never. I tell you what,
I thought it was two different ranks.
yeah,
Entirely.
it's educational today. I tell you, learning stuff all the time here.
It is.
Wow.
So I pronounce all three of these differently. Mary, marry, and Mary.
I just pronounced them all Mary.
Easy. Yes, depends what I'm referring to here. If I'm referring to, the phone, cell phone, I'd say mobile or a mobile home. If I'm referring to the place in Alabama, mobile.
I'd say mobile for phone or for home, and mobile for mobile.
So at least we can agree on the last one. Aha, again, not a sponsored video. Nissan.
That is the silliest pronunciation.
No, it isn't. Look, it begins with Niss.
Nissan.
Which, that's fine too.
I'm certain that that's the way that somebody in Japan might say it.
I bet it is. You're probably right. America is very good about doing that, actually. This word actually...
Yeah, eat your croissants then while you say that.
Craig.
Craig. I've heard people say, because we say Hyundai for the car over here, don't
Hyundai,
we?
yeah.
And it's Hyundai.
Yeah.
That's how Americans pronounce it.
Right, okay.
I don't say Hyundai, I say Hyundai. Hyundai.
Which is probably more legit Japanese.
Well, I used to work with them, so it was. Yeah, I think I don't think they're Japanese, are they? I think they're Korean.
I thought they were
Hyundai.
Japanese.
I think you might be. I think they might be Korean, possibly.
Are they?
Yeah, I think you're
Well,
right
I went to
there.
their offices in Korea.
So
I don't know if they are Korean, but I'm
You'd
pretty
like to
sure
think
I
so.
thought they were.
That's
And
why
you
you met them.
scratching your head going, why are all these Japanese guys in this
Japanese doing
office?
it? Why don't we meet in Japan?
Why do all these Japanese people look like Koreans?
Ooh, Mike.
Oddly appropriate now. Nonchalant.
Nonchalant.
There you go. Again.
I'd say
getting
nonchalant.
Your French
Nonchalant.
down. It's amazing. Why can't you do that with Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
This one was a revelation. Oregano.
Oregano.
And again, I hate to admit it, yours is closer to the original Spanish.
I always thought it was Italian.
Parmesan.
Parmesan. Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but I mean, it's tasty either way.
It makes no sense the way that I pronounce that. I just realized.
Well, but again, English doesn't, and it's borrowed from other language. All of these words come from other languages originally, so they're going to have weird nuances to them. And I think it's fine that you say that, but I'm just going to stick to Parmesan. It's slightly quicker. In the privacy of your own home.
Privacy?
Privacy. Either way, don't give out your home address. Progress. To be honest, I go back and forth between both of them.
I say both.
I don't know if I do
you?
or not.
Yeah.
To progress is to go forward. To have progress is what you have once you've progressed.
That's a good distinction. I actually like that. For me, this will always and forever be route.
Route.
And it is for you too, but a lot of Americans would say
route, don't they?
And route is, for us, we don't...
Route is a fight, isn't it?
No,
I thought it is. Or is it just when someone gets battered?
in a way,
It's like a football match.
no. It's when two males, one's bent over, and the other one's is routing him.
Really? I didn't know that. Did you know that, Mike?
Of course he knew. He's been routed.
I thought it's grouting between the cracks.
Yeah, it was routing. I don't know if it's Australian sort of like
A
terminology.
route is used in that context for sport as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a bit of a route.
I had a mate say
if
it years
someone
ago.
gets-
I'd say rut.
No, I mean if someone gets beaten badly in a say football
Oh,
match,
right,
they
yeah,
do say
yeah,
it's
yeah, route.
been a bit
Yeah.
of a route
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
used
spell it like that?
I thought, I think you know what? I don't know actually, but I thought all Americans said
Route.
So it was interesting to see her saying route. That surprised me that bit. Must admit.
I had a mate say it when we were sort of teenagers, and he was talking about a football match, and he went, "Oh, it was a right route," and I was like, "What the fuck are you on about? I've never heard you say that word before in your life." And he's like, "Yeah, that's what we all say," and it's like, "Yeah, sure."
Like you say, if it's like a mauling, if you get beat like 6-0,
Yeah.
it's a route, innit?
Yeah,
But I don't know if
definitely.
it's spelled. I don't know if it's spelled like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
ever use that sound if we're talking about a football game where somebody hammered another team.
Oh,
It
there
was
you
a
go.
rout. Simply the salon, which, I think a lot of us could do with right now.
That's quite French.
How do you pronounce it?
Salon.
Yes, it's just an emphasis difference again. Yeah.
I could definitely use it.
That's true. In fact, I got my haircut just before this whole thing started.
You're not supposed to say that to your wife.
No,
I
no.
knew by, and you're supposed to go, "No, you look great.
No, that's great. Don't worry about
You look
it.
better than ever."
Talking of roots.
Yeah.
In fact, you might say I was right on schedule, although I never really pronounce it that way. I've always said schedule.
And I've always said schedule too.
Semi.
Semi.
I've said both, I think.
I love the it's oh god, Sean Locke bit, where it's like, is it schedule or is it schedule on 8 out of 10 cats?
Yeah.
And everyone starts debating it, and they say, what do you think, Sean? And he just goes, I don't know, I don't give a shit. It's one of the iconic Sean Locke bits.
Brilliant.
Pronounce it that way. I've always said schedule.
And I've always said schedule too.
Semi.
Semi or semi something, but semi on its own if it's a truck.
Really? So you would actually say it's semi-final, for example?
Yeah, semi-final, any kind of semi word, that prefix, I say that's
Yes, I
semi.
know, he's dying to say it
Yeah.
again.
I doubt it.
Semi-flop on.
Okay. I think whenever I've heard an American sports commentator say semi-final, they would say semi-final. Ah, yes. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
One syllable, more or less.
It is, and I don't understand that one either.
So
There are definitely 2 syllables.
I pointed out once, it sounds like you've got a mouthful of nuts, much like a squirrel. Tomato.
Tomato. We knew that one already.
I think everyone knows that one. Aha, they may not know this one. Tunisia.
Tunisia.
If there is anybody watching from Tunisia or Tunisia, let us know which is closest to your pronunciation. Well, I think I know who's going to win this one. Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Do you usually do it like that?
No.
No.
You don't usually affect the Spanish.
Uruguay.
Yeah.
Uruguay.
Yeah, but yours is closer again, I think, isn't it, to the considered Spanish pronunciation?
I'm certain that there are Americans who say Uruguay, though.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, neither of us are correct here. So, yes, in Britain we say Van Gogh.
What do you say?
I know it's I say Van Gogh,
Yeah,
but I know
same
it's
here.
like Van Gogh.
I think
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, isn't it? I think.
I say Van Gogh.
I think it's supposed to be like Goh.
I think that's probably the correct pronunciation, but we sort of grew up calling
You look like
saying
him,
Goff.
mate. You should know.
Yeah, no. I told
Stare
you.
into the camera,
like-
Dave. Stare into camera 1.
Well,
Van Gogh.
I've said this. I mean, it was videos ago now, so people probably aren't going to know. But I went to it was the world's biggest Van Gogh exhibition in Switzerland, and there's a self-portrait he did when he was in the height of his syphilis. You know, where he started going.
Spitting image.
Yeah, that's when he went weird and like brushstrokes became different and stuff. I'm not an art person, but I know there's a little bit I know. And that self-portrait I was stood next to, and people started taking pictures of me with the self-portrait. Yeah, and at the time I had a skinhead as well, so to me I looked nothing like him, but the facial features must have just been. Which I have been to one of his exhibitions since, that live one, you know, where it was all projected on walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a few comments from the curators.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Tough bloke, Dave.
I saw.
Yeah, I tried picking up one of the paintings, saying it's mine, it's me.
Reincarnated.
Here in America, growing up, I was conditioned to say Van Gogh, but increasingly I've heard Americans say things like Van Gogh or Van Gogh.
I wonder if Doctor Who influenced that. I've heard that the Dutch is closer to that first one you said there, Van Gogh or something
Van
like that.
Gogh.
You need a lot of phlegm. Ah, perfect, because Van Gogh did flowers. Vase.
Vase. But I also say vase.
Do you think you picked that up from me as well?
No, that was before you. I'm just, really pretentious, like you said earlier.
And I'm losing my power. I'm going to be interested here because I actually don't know how you pronounce this, but I say it versatile.
I go back and forth between versatile and versatile.
That is a distinction here because I think, like you, not all Americans would say versatile. Vitamin.
Vitamin.
Have you taken your vitamins?
Yeah.
I haven't. And this is the one that waiters, get tripped up on a lot when they hear me speak when I ask for water.
This was something that I always had to order for him. In fact, to the point where I still, whenever we go out and have food in a restaurant, who does that anymore?
What's a restaurant?
But when we used to do that, I would have to order all of his food for him because the waiters and waitresses just did not understand him.
That's an exaggeration, but at least the word water.
Water.
And we couldn't finish this video without reference to the platform that it's on, YouTube.
YouTube.
Although when I'm speaking quickly, I do find myself saying YouTube, I think.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
heard you say
No,
that.
it's tube.
I found an old video of me the other day saying it that exact way without even thinking about it.
And here he thinks that he influences me.
Get out.
So there you have it. All the pronunciations of 50 different words. Some of them very similar, some of them not so similar.
That's true. And a little bonus entry, because I forgot to put it in, is the word paella.
Paella.
Again, Spanish. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below some of your favourite pronunciation differences. And if you like the kind of things that I do on this channel, or that we do occasionally on this channel, you can follow me on Twitter at Lost in the...
It's great videos,
Excellent.
doesn't he?
He's really good.
It's a great channel.
Yeah, he's excellent.
It's worth. Go on, sorry. You.
I was going to say it's bang on what he's talking about. He brings up a lot of differences between the UK and Europe and the USA.
Yeah.
Of how we do things very differently, but we're very closely connected.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely, massively, yeah.
It's worth noting as well. He's northern.
He's from
Yeah.
Grimsby.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's not just English and American, is it? Because even around the northwest, you can, different dialects. People pronounce things differently, don't they?
Yeah.
Like just a bit further up the road, someone called a book a book.
Yeah.
Where we'd just say book. And that's just like you could travel like 10 miles and it'd be different accents and say words in a different way.
I spend a lot of time in Birmingham, as you know, and I go in there. If I go into a shop and ask for a roll, right, like a bread roll.
Yeah.
What do we call them?
People fight to
Barm
the death
cake?
over
Barm
that
cake.
in this country.
Yeah. And I go and I say like, oh, can I have a cheese and have it on a barm cake? And they'll go, what?
A cob. Is it a
Like
cob?
Cob.
Down
Yeah,
there.
I can't remember. I just like, just put on white bread, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
You know what it is in
Just white, soft, floury stuff.
Yeah.
in Sheffield is bread cake.
Mm.
Bread cake.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I brought my
Didn't know
mates from Yorkshire, and when he came, I took him to the sandwich shop around the corner.
Yeah.
And he's and I thought I'll let him order because I know he's not gonna get the same thing. And I think he asked for something like, I think he said like, I'll have a cheese sandwich or a bread cake.
Yeah.
The guy's just looking at him going like,
Got the ham. Put some ham on bread cake.
how much?
How much?
That's definitely the one. Yeah. It is good.
That's interesting, that.
I think because, we've sort of built up a nation by being invaded a little bit, whereas America has been sort of colonized over the years by the Spanish, the French, the Dutch. The Vikings were there before.
Yeah.
Even those lot were there. So there's going to be pockets
Of course there is, yeah.
there's a lot of Irish in certain places, so there's probably pronunciations that have bled into everyone else that's there. So it's a proper, language-wise, it's a real melting pot.
Yeah,
isn't
but it's
it?
one of them where
Hugely,
if people say something that's wrong, some people want to be corrected so they can get it right next time. Especially if they're foreign. So when foreign people speak to me, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry about my English," and I go, "Mate, don't worry about it.
Better than mine.
Better than my Spanish or better than my French, whatever it is they're going to be talking to."
Yeah.
But it's one of them. You just like you know what they mean,
Yeah.
so just crack on with it.
Yeah. True.
I think we don't think about pronunciation in other languages as much because we just assume the vast majority of the world speaks English.
Yeah,
So
I guess so.
it's certainly Europe and America and places like that. So we don't necessarily feel the need to really articulate paella as paella.
Yeah.
Because people know what we're on about.
I think if you watch news programs, they tend to try and get it right all the time.
Yeah,
don't they? If you get news broadcasters,
Yeah.
and they'll put the accent on it, they will say paella, say it in a more Spanish sort of sounding way.
I watched Jamie Oliver once though, and he was like, "And I'm just going to chop up some nice cubes of chorizo." Like that, and I was like, "It's chorizo, mate. It's chorizo." But he's like chorizo.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you just
that's
say-
just his list, mate. That's nothing.
Yeah,
Just his impediment.
But there's certain things where, as an English person, you sound stupider pronouncing it right when everything else
Yeah,
is
I
in
get
your
that.
accent
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
language, and then suddenly you just throw in one word.
Yeah. It's like when you hear the sports commentators as well. They're commentating, they're trying to get the names, they know the way they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're so off. I'm like, mate, you just made that up.
Yeah.
Well, it's like your new player this year. I know everyone pronounce it Haaland, but it's not. It's actually Haaland, I think.
Haaland, yeah.
But I think everyone will call him Haaland, even we will probably.
Yeah.
But then I think the commentators,
Oh, they'll have a proper,
they will be saying Haaland, no doubt.
Yeah.
But,
Had it with-
but that's just one example. There's loads of examples of that about.
Had it with United's goalkeeper. There was David De Gea.
He's been called all sorts. De Gea, De Gea.
I met
De
him.
Gea.
I met him in the restaurant and I called him De Gea.
Just a proper piss
him
you did
off.
it on
I thought
purpose.
that's you and on me. I've had everything.
Well, there's a David De Gea. David. In fact, we can call him David. Dave
Dave De Gea.
Dave De Gea.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.